Okay. Ugh. So, hi everybody. Don't you just love yarn barf? Why? Why is my yarn deciding to be dumb? Ugh. This is gonna be fun. Why is my yarn deciding to be dumb? Anyway, I will deal with that when I get to it. So I'm just chilling and knitting on this big, oh, awesome, chunky hat. Yeah, I'm working on the video clips for this hat and everything. But right now my yarn is deciding to be a tangled mess. Why? Oh my goodness. Luckily there's only a little bit of the yarn. So we're just gonna throw that down there. We will deal with that yarn when we get to it. Alright. One of these strands of yarn has sequins in it. Right there. It's a lot shinier in real life. Let's see. I should be able to see what I'm doing with the parts of the yarn that has has sequins. Oh, thank you. Has sequins is that I slip the yarn in front and then keep on knitting. And we just keep on going because this is a art yarn chunky hat and it can do whatever we want it to. Okay. Thank you. I don't know what accent I got. What do you think it is? I literally am from the Midwest. Maybe that's it. Okay, so this, I can't, colors, orange, yellow stitch marker is marking the beginning of my round. So I'm going to start. I definitely agree with you because I definitely come off as country. So we're going to start decreasing a bit. I got stitch markers for 6 different sections around. It was fun trying to divide 80 into 6. Really, just 2 sections basically have 1 extra stitch and you're never going to know. So we're going to start the decrease. This is going to be a decrease round. And I'm going to try not to fight with my yarn, but that's okay. I am very used to fussing with the yarn. Like a big old tangled ball of yarn does not bother me really, other than just a slight inconvenience, because that's what you sit down and watch YouTube while you work on untangling your yarn from both ends. Okay, there we go. Now we've joined. That is the completed 1 row or round of this yarn is held double. So they both basically both look the same. So this yarn, I'm making a hat. You want to see? Here, take that like that. And we're gonna, oh, it's gonna look better once it starts decreasing and everything. And this rainbow yarn was like, this is just Patton's wool that I actually dyed several years ago. Thank you. With food coloring. So I gotta be really careful because the food coloring is not light fast. But it's really cool. And I got another whole thing of it here. So if I run out of these two pink yarns, which I'm knitting on currently, before I get finished up at the top, I'm just going to switch over to my smaller needles that I knit this part on and just finish up. That's the plan. And then I still have everything out, luckily here. I'm going to use this yarn to stitch these pink crystals somehow into this part here. I'm not 100% sure on how I'm going to do it yet, but it's going to happen. So that's my hat. In fact, I will wear the other hat that I worked on. And if you want to see a more detailed rundown of other stuff in Fiber Haul, the last video where I featured this hat where I'm wearing it has probably more details. But basically, this is same patterns but different color I dyed. Hand spun, that's all crazy. And then I worked this part with yarn with more sequins in it, and I worked it like back and forth. This part up here is a 2-ply that's plied with like auto wrapped, I think, gold hollow thread, and then the top is just the same as down here, and it fits pretty well. It's pretty comfy. I have a feeling that the tension might be off on this one, but I'm thinking just the softness is rosa. Yeah, still a little coffee, still a little under the weather. Okay, that's where I begun it. And so, you know what? Oh, I run the risk of not being able to be heard, but I think we can do this. Let me know if you can't really hear me, and I'll get it much closer again. Or I'll just actually, sit up straight and just knit like this. And so, okay, we're going to knit those two together. This is our decrease round. Oh yeah. It's like, isn't art yarn fun? It's like one of the stickers I made long ago where I made it say, it's art yarn if I say it is. It's true. Like right now, like I got some, goodness, this is all tangled. And so I've got some art yarn that's kind of on a chunky side, but right at this moment, I am not confident enough in my ability to spin up real, like fairly chunky art yarn with my Nano 2, even though I know I could do it. I just need to take off the smaller orifice hole or whatever it is. Yeah. And it's like, I like this yarn. It's super sparkly. But it's like, it's all hyper twisted. So it's like all twisty and everything. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah. Okay. It's not often I have to deal with yarn bark from like my own yarns, but I think it has something to do with the fact that this yarn has the sequins spun into it. But you know what? That's gonna probably do for a little bit now. So let's get back to knitting. Yeah, I like the different shades of like pink and purple in this. Like the yarn I have definitely has pink to it, but but compared to this pink, which is super bright, it looks purple. Oh, time to decrease. Yeah, it should look pretty cool when it's done. And what better to make a big O chunky hat out of chunky yarn? It's super fast. It's also really fun. Yeah, and the plan is because I know I don't have enough of the yarn that has the sequins, so that basically once the sequins yarn runs out, I'm literally just gonna drop it down to the original needle size, and that's gonna make an interesting effect. And now the problem is with this hat, even though it's not really too much of a problem, it's very square because every round on the crown, because it was separated in 4 sections, I decreased twice per round, so 8 times. This one is just 6 sections, and I'll decrease for 6 stitches in 1 round, and it's all evenly distributed. So I'm thinking the shaping is going to be a lot more expected on this one. This is so cool because yeah, I like the one longer section without the sequins because there's actually these it's hard to see because I got my front facing camera. There's black sections in here because I used some black faux cashmere and I blended and spun this. I guess I was feeling some sort of way that I thought was cool. But yeah, did I decrease that? Yes, I did. What are you doing here? Okay. So yeah. I think I can get one more stitch. We're gonna wrap that back around. Gonna keep that in front. Oh, would you look at that? This will be interesting. My sequins actually lined up. So I got double sequins. Oh, got double sequins right there. That looked pretty awesome. I kind of wondered that was going to happen. Kind of did think about like just holding my sequence yarn double, but yeah, that was definitely not going to be happening with this mess of yarn tanglement. Ah. And it's like, this is like a great way to make some actual art and use up parts of my stash to make things. So I'm thinking definitely like hand spun art hats, art yarn hats, and everything will be pretty awesome. I have ideas for modify like parts of like a sweater ensemble and stuff. Like I don't know how, but I know like the yarns I kind of want to use with it. That would be pretty awesome. And all that. All right. And here's another bit of sequence that I skipped over. And I actually like how the yarn here is working up, say, compared to the sequence in this side. But that, there was so much, like I would literally like let a length of my yarn go between sequence. And so that's why they're so close together. That's why there's so many. It's awesome. So this one, there's probably a fair amount in here, not too many. So I'm gonna go all fancy and add the see if I can add the crystals. So I gotta figure out maybe what size of needle to thread those through, and I'm gonna try because I think I can get the yarn to fit, but we'll see. Okay, so we're back to our so now I just get the regular knit round, which is gonna look awesome. Actually catch both the yarns. So the thing about knitting double is it's kind of easy to, if you're not paying attention, to skip a yarn. So you gotta be careful not to do that. And yeah. Yeah, I was like, when I was working on the hat on top of my head, and I switched over to, like, I had some double points in the size, but the fact is that, like, with the big yarn, I was worried that the yarn on the needles would fall off. So I went looking for my interchangeables, and I don't know where the heck they are, which means that I have to probably go through, well, my room is pretty well cleaned up from like this time last year, maybe a little before that, but at the same time I have misplaced stuff because last time I used my interchangeables that I can think of was about September, early October. I don't know where the interchangeable set is. Like, I know a lot of them are probably there. I don't know where it is, and it's driving me nuts. So I magically found this non-interchangeable set in just barely. It works for this big amount of chunky yarn. It works. And so yeah, gonna get a lot of these started to find decrease, and I'm hoping that I will have decreased at least somewhat by the time that I get to drop down a needle size. And the cool thing is that I actually do have another set of the same US 7s that I used for this part and the pink part here. So I got an extra 2 needles floating around here that I can evenly divide up these sections without having to worry. And then from there I could probably put them onto the standard 4. Ugh. My throat's still kind of sore. I don't like it. So I'm just gonna sit and knit for y'all. for a bit. It's pretty quick going around in a loop here. So let's knit our stitch. Same here. And I did pick up some more like clear or white Angelina, but this stuff that I got last year or the year before had this really interesting texture to it, which I am not exactly seeing as much in the stuff I just picked up, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be awesome, because it will be. No, I'm not exactly sure what the texture is, but it's super awesome. Sometimes a yarn likes to fight with me, and it's really dumb. Alright, here we go. We're coming up on a sequence. So it's kind of interesting how like the last couple of sequins have come up on my around the area of my stitch markers rather than any other location. Right. Now it's time to decrease again. And now I'm hoping I got like all my decreases like in order how they're supposed to go, but if it doesn't happen that way, oh well. I mean, look at this one. This one was random, and I literally stopped going in around and I started working back and forth. So this side is more crazy than I say this side. And that's just how it be. It's an art yarn hat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of like how I lock this in place. Like, I've been doing that with my yarns. Like, I kind of just knit. I take the one that's just ending and loop that over the stitch and then add in the other ones and like lock in place, and then take the tails and flip them up and knit behind it, and all that, all to say that I kind of just lock those yarns in place so that they're not really going to move. And then I can go back later if I want and maybe like, secure them, weave them in. And that's the thing about working with these chunky sequin yarn. Your yarn itself wants to get caught on the sequins. So there is that to contend with. That was happening. Surprisingly, not as much for how many sequins there were, but then again, it was a very small one, and I kind of had it loosely wrapped, so we were good. Did I decrease that? Yes, I did. See, I don't remember. I'd be trying. I'd be distracted. Mm-hmm. decrease again here. Yeah, and eventually it's going to get to the start where I'm going to have more cable than I do have stitches. All right. And we got another sequin. If I just make sure not to pull it too tight, we just loop it around and we don't fall down. And we got our sequin right there. It's all sparkly. Try to focus. There we go, a little bit. Yeah, I'm suspecting that I'm definitely going to be finishing with like my pink rainbow dyed yarn. Thank you for the like. Because, well, we'll see how far this goes. I do actually have more hand spun up in my stash. I got some pinks that would be kind of cool. Like, I do have like a kind of rainbow thing going on one of them. But I'm not sure if I want to use that yet, because if I use that for another project after I used it here and don't have enough, well, that's a bit of an issue. But I do have some other pinkish ones. Or I could go with a completely different color, but I'm wanting to stay with the pink. Mm-hmm. And then we decrease again. And there's, ow. See, that's a bit of a problem. One of the sequins wants to disappear behind the other. Let's try to lock that in there. Keep it from doing that. That'll probably be better once I'm not messing with all the stitches on the needles and everything. Yeah. It's dumb. It's really dumb. So I have a random coughing fit. Lovely. We like that. No, we don't. All right. Time to decrease again. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that should show it off. See what's happening? We got slightly different colors now. It's kind of tricky to see. But it works well together. Also, my light is kind of fading out there. All right. Got the yellow stitch marker. That means we get to just knit. We just get to knit this time. Mhm. Yeah, I'm just like, it's a good amount of sequins here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is move that in front. Don't pull it too tight and knit the next and keep going. And that way we got a bigger chunky sequin. And it's a single, it's a pink hollow. Now the other hollow sequins that I got here are like multi, like there's probably a word for it, but they got the multitude of hollow going on. This one, these pink ones are just solid. Looks really cool. I think my black ones, I got some black hollow sequins. I got a bunch of hollow sequins that I'm literally have been plotting for a very long time because I got felt and I got sewing needles. And what I want to do is make some sequined embroidery patches, and I've actually made some before, and I'm actually thinking that I could probably stitch them onto this hat because the ones I got, and it would look awesome. It would look really cool. I'll skip on the embroidery patches for this hat because I'm planning on sewing on these pink crystals. Here, let me take some out, and the holes are pretty tiny, but I think I could work with that. I'm thinking if I just use sewing thread, like doubled up and like stitch it in place, and then kind of fancy like use yarn to kind of lock it down somehow, I can make it work. Yeah. It's like that'd be really cool. Maybe use these small tiny ones. And then as I'm wearing them, the hat, don't fall. That's not going to be good head injury. No. But yeah. It's like, oh, this would be the perfect hat to wear once I finally finish my Space Cadet sweater. The reason why I feel like I haven't wanted to pick it up is because the sleeves. It's on Sleeve Island. And I'm thinking the sleeves that I started, I was like decreasing, and that's too much like brain power. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is frog out some of the sleeves, at least back to a point where I did not decrease just yet. And I'm probably just gonna knit them straight flat until I reach like a certain part of my arm, and then like decrease them all at once or something, and it'll be hopefully pretty cool. And that way I can actually, get my sweater finished because it's the sleeves. That's literally it. That's all I'm waiting on, or that's all I have left to do is the sleeves. And then I really need to work on my neon crochet squares sweater, which has just been, the squares have been hanging around, and I gotta make sure my little Bodie hasn't made off with some squares because he loves my yarn. He actually loves my hats. Like in my previous video, just before this one, this hat fits him pretty well, and it's a bit snug on me, but it fits him pretty well, and it is absolutely adorable. It's like, and he anything on that child is adorable. I swear. So yeah, he likes hats. He's got like a hat that I had crocheted long ago with like a 2-ply acrylic yarn, and it's like green one, and it actually fits in because I had multiples of different sizes that I had done. Um, and it's in his backpack, and he loves it. I got our school, his school. There is a photo of him on the playground, and it's cute because he's climbing and he's wearing his hat. It's so cute. He's so sweet. He's like, my mama's favorite color is purple. And the thing is, he's not really speaking too many words yet. I mean, he is smart. Like, he knows what he wants and everything, but his verbal communication is not all there yet. Oh, let's let me see. And see, I can do this. I can just slip 2 stitches and it'll be just fine to keep that sequence in front. Yeah, the slipping of the stitches is definitely a method that I'm going to use in future projects because there's some stuff that excuse me, is real chunky that I want to see in front and wouldn't really knit properly with the gauge that's at. Sorry, because that's how it is. All right, yellow one, time to decrease again. And oh, it fell on the floor. I thought I ran out already. I'm like, what? Not paying attention. So we decrease and we go. So fun just to knit in the round. Especially when you're just like chilling and it's pretty simple. Not really having to follow a fancy stitch pattern. Alright, let's decrease. Carefully. And oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, keep our sequences in front. With there being like so few on this yarn, it's fairly easy to keep it all tidy and everything. Yeah, I was thinking that once I get back and more comfortable with my e-spinner, I may attempt doing more sequin yarn because the sequin yarn is not too terribly hard, but you know what? That might not work too well on my e-spinner, which is unfortunate. But oh well. Because, well, wait a second. No, it would work. I'm just not thinking. I haven't given up yet. Nope. Yeah, I like knitting. Right, got another sequence. And I think we'll get to it, yeah. And we're gonna slip 2 stitches to keep it. And we're gonna get that in front. Yeah, there we go. And if we can slip 2 stitches, Yeah, it's an art yarn hat. We can do what we want. And that sequence is gonna, pair up right with these two here. So, oh, the lighting's kind of hard to see. Let's go this way. And like I like the hollow because it's a rainbow. So hollow is. And we got sequins right here. And sequins right here. Alright. Alright, time to decrease again. On the ground. Not too much more left. Definitely gonna get us there. Good point. All right. Time to decrease again. And I'm doing it knit two together, basically. Just really simple. Oh, excuse me. Like, I'd rather sneeze than cough. Just overall, it feels better. Yeah, it's been a long day. All right, we have gone another round. So we're kind of coming up on our yellow stitch marker. And we get to just knit without worrying about anything. And we got more sequins. We might be coming up to the last of our sequence, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, come on. All right. That one should be fine. And it's like another sequin buddy. Hello, I see you. Welcome to my knitting evening. I'm making a hat. Kind of like the one I'm wearing, but different because it's an art yarn hat. And it's got sequins in it. There's two right there. Because, I'm trying not to lose my stitch because my art yarn that I have spun has sequins in it. And then once one of these yarns runs out, I'm going to switch to different size needles similar to what I started with, but just they're smaller because I'm holding two yarns coming up to another sequin, and thinking we are going to slip 2 so that we have enough room for our sequin in front just to hang out and be all pretty and sparkly. And we might, that's the bigger yarn. It's been falling down. So we got this left, and we got this small amount left. So the sequined yarn I spun is going to run out first. But that's okay, because we got plans. I don't know if I got any more sequin in here. I probably don't. And that means all my sequins is in the hat. And it's going to be awesome. This hat going to be so warm and sparkly too. And everything. Yeah. And I'm just knitting around. And then I will probably, once I get to the end of one of the strands of yarns, just maybe hop off and go get me some tea. Because my throat is still kind of scratchy. It's really dumb. Dude, this is like, if it goes until next Friday, or this coming Friday, it's literally gonna be almost a month. That's insane. But I'm like, overall, I've been doing and feeling a lot better in like the past week or weekend or so. But like, I can kind of feel the irritation in my throat. It's probably something that's gonna like hang on for a bit. And like that coughing fit that I had earlier, just kind of random. All right. Time to decrease again. And I can kind of feel it. It's getting to the point where there's more cable than there are stitches, but we're still hanging in there. Mm. You simply get down, and then you gotta tell your yarn and sequins what to do. They gotta listen to you. Alright. Oh, there we go. That was a bit of a tough one. And we're to the point where it is less than my arm span. So very soon I'm going to hop off, but not before trying this on and showing like what it's looking like. Because I've gone a couple rounds and with the decreases and everything. And it's looking pretty cool. It's gonna be awesome. And like, whoa, what the heck are you wearing? I'm like, it's a hat. It's made from art yarn because I'm a fiber artist. Mm-hmm. And then I'll probably do like a just a recipe write up on it once I kind of get the final results ready to go. Okay. So now I know how to work with the sequins. And I do actually have some yarn and sequins that are more contrasting that I'm like kind of excited to work with. Alright, remember, you gotta decrease these stitches. Alright. Almost to the end of the sequin yarn. I definitely don't have any more sequins to knit with the yarn. But it's going to be awesome. And I do actually have definitely some more sequin yarn, which if you'd seen in my, thank you for the like, one of my YouTube shorts within the last month or so. Yeah, because there was a good chunk of time where I was just looking at my analytics, and yeah, it was literally like about 3 weeks. All right, I decrease this. And yeah, I'll just get almost done. And I'll wind up that yarn to make it a little bit more tight. And I think one more stitch. And that is good. So, okay. We are done with the sequin yarn and we just have our basic. This is the other art yarn hat I was talking about. And that is some awesome rainbow. And here is the sequins. It's kind of hard with the lighting and my front facing camera. But like, yeah, that's literally all sequins. It would work back and forth. The hat wasn't around, but that was back and forth. Okay. And I'm going to yep, that's gonna fit like that. And it is definitely like oversized, but honestly, I think it's gonna be a great hat during like winter, and especially when my hair comes back in. Actually, you know what? Oh, yeah, come on. Oh, we'll have to see how the decreases because it's gonna go up somehow. But all right, it's looking pretty cool. I don't know. Oh, oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be a slouchy hat. Ah yeah. Well, okay. That's what I got here now is this. And then we're going to either go with some of this or maybe I will go searching through my stash and find a cool pink because I think I got some that would look actually pretty matching cool with it. Because there's other stuff in there that I just make and I'm like, I have no idea what I could do with this. Anyway, that's my art yarn hat. Stick around because I just filmed some clips to make a regular long form. but I just decided to start up a live where I was just knitting for a bit. And that will hopefully be up by either maybe this weekend or early next week. We'll see how it goes. So I'm Sarah, if I didn't tell you already, which I know I didn't, but that's who I am. This is my channel. I make yarn and fiber things, and go make something sparkle, and have a good one. I'll see ya.